Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to talk to you about our apartment hunting experience, here in Guadalajara. First, we want to tell you about what people recommended versus what our process was like.
What people recommended was to drive around and look at places that had se renta sign. Gotta roll that R, which means for rent. So the first the first week we were here, we had a rental car and we were driving around, looking at places, taking down phone numbers, reaching out to people on WhatsApp.
We definitely talked to a lot of people on WhatsApp, but we didn't see a single listing from WhatsApp because we were looking for two specific things, something that was furnished and also dog friendly. So once you ask, oh, is it furnished? 99% of the time the answer was no. So that proved to not be helpful at all for us. So we explored some other ways of finding rentals, like some of the sites and Facebook Marketplace. We also talked to some people on Airbnb,
which worked out for us because we were able to see at least one place, and it was absolutely beautiful, but it was a new construction and we didn't want to deal with a place that wasn't established yet.
And then the most helpful way was by contacting this company called Welcome Max, and it was an entrepreneur named Anna and her team, Barbara and Enrique.
Shout out, thank y'all so much.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And super helpful through this process, and we're so thankful that this service exists. So we, in partnership with them, they help us understand the process of what it would be like for us to rent, and then they also helped us organize some showings, and we were able to tour 6 places.
So we had to, there was, what is it called, a fedora?
A fiador.
A fiador, and so what that is basically somebody in the country that can vouch for you to say that you'll be a good renter.
Like a cosigner of some sort, something like that. And we, of course, didn't have that, so there's an alternative fee in place of that.
Yeah, which is between 3,000 pesos and 4,000 pesos. So we had to go that route. And then it required us to get a background check, which was about 700 to 1,000 pesos.
And then also there's a maintenance fee, so a fee required for the upkeep of the property, if there's security guards, like that type of thing. So that's in addition to the rent. First month's rent, deposit. And the deposit is, and all of these requirements are just something that we were aware of as charges, but what was required, the specific amount, totally dependent on the actual landlord.
And so with that, was when we partnered with the company, we said, hey, these are our specifics. So our budget was 16,000 pesos.
Yes. And we were looking for a 2-bedroom, a 1-bath with air condition.
We were looking for walkability, so being close to parks, grocery stores, gyms, restaurants, and just like other cool things within the area. And so we both had our specifics. So our specifics, I'm just kidding. So mine was no carpet. And the other one is it had to have a washer and dryer in the unit.
For me, it was so important to have walkability, to be able to go where I needed to go, not be dependent on an Uber, and to be able to literally just get there in a matter of minutes. In addition, it was most important to me that I would be able to run without interruptions. I didn't want to have to dodge traffic, so I didn't want to be on a busy street. I did not want to also have to run around people.
And then another mutual must-have for us was safety. We wanted to be in a place where we felt safe, where we felt protected, where we could walk, fife out, and just not worry about anything. Of course, we're going to watch our 6, right? We're going to watch our bags, do the everyday
I watch
things.
your 6. You can't watch your own 6.
God got my back, and my wife. God and my wife got my back. Those were our must-haves in our place.
Yes, they helped us see 6 apartments. And so the first one we refer to as the Jefferson.
The Jefferson. So this was an apartment in a beautiful upper middle class neighborhood. I mean, the apartment was gorgeous. It was decorated nice. The landlord was extremely nice. It was very clean. The neighborhood was absolutely perfect. I think a grocery store was like a 30-second walk across the street. A gym, if we decide to go to the gym, is a 30-second walk across the street.
Yep.
And there's a street, I don't remember the name of it, but I feel like there's like 20 plus restaurants, if not more, up and down this one street, which is only, what, like a block and a half away. So.
And so those were definitely the pros.
Oh, and the parks.
Oh yeah, the parks were nearby too. And that was a pro of the neighborhood. And what we did not have that we wanted, it did not have air conditioning, and it did not have a second bedroom, although it did have a second bath, so 1 bedroom, 2 bath.
And apartment number 2, which we refer to as Dos, is in the exact same neighborhood, in the same complex, but it really didn't float our boat.
Yeah, it was not as updated as the apartment number 1. It had the same landlord, the same neighborhood, so all those same positives. The only con, it wasn't as updated for our liking.
Yeah, absolutely. And so apartment number 3, Little Charmer. Why did we call it Little Charmer? Wife is in the back drinking water.
Okay, so it was referred to as Little Charmer by us because it was so charming, it was so cute, but it was so little.
So cute and little.
It was so cute and little. It was no true. It was no place for us to be and not be on top of each other, and like not in a marital way, but just like we really didn't have any place for us to think and to be like alone and have privacy. Like everything was just right there. And so that was a con for us, but it was adorable. The kitchen was updated. The view was immaculate. The landlord was great. The lobby downstairs was fab.
Amazing.
It was just so many positives, but it also just wasn't going to be livable. Like, taking in consideration the fact that you do spend a lot more time at home these days, we needed to be able to feel like we had our space.
Absolutely. And so apartment number 4.
Views from the 6.
So this place literally spoke for itself. The views were immaculate. The pros of it, it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, very, very spacious. The community area was nice. It had an in-unit washer and dryer.
Yeah.
The walkability of the neighborhood was nice, but there were a few cons.
Just a few, actually. The only cons really, well, for starters, oh yes, one thing we didn't communicate is that the process of renting is very different in negotiation. So it wasn't like, oh, this is the advertised price and this is the price you pay. It's like, hey, this is our starting offer, you make a counter offer. So with that being said, they did show us a place that was $19,500, which is clearly higher than 16,000 pesos. But the idea was that we could negotiate. But they actually were like, nah, we're Gucci. So we saw this beautiful place that was over budget, but that was a con. Another con was that it didn't appear or feel as though they invested as heavily in the furnishing. Apartment
number 5 is called Art Van. This place had so much furniture, y'all. It was a lot of furniture.
Yes, and of course you didn't get from Art Van, but that's just how we remembered it because it was helpful for us to have names for these places. So it was a lot of furniture, but the pro is that they said that they would be willing to remove anything that we didn't want. So that was pretty great. And it had 2 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Space. Felt like a small house.
Yeah, it was nice. And it also had amenities, the only place we looked at with amenities. So a rooftop pool and
a gym
and a courtyard with grills.
But once we actually went to go see this place 2 times because it was high on our list. And some of the cons of it was it had a lot of cosmetic damage. So like there was some chip paint on the ceiling, and one of the water faucets was like extremely loose. And the lady, she said, well, you know, we could reconk it for you, but my thing is, what problems will it cause later, and why wasn't it fixed before we got there? Oh, and another pro was it was in like the most happening area in Guadalajara.
All right, and so the last place that we looked at, we refer to as GDL Cribs.
GDL Crizzies.
Because it actually was a house, and so it was really cool. It was a tri-level house, and it was spacious, and it had really great furniture, like headboards and big TVs, and a balcony on the second and third floor. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was extremely nice. And the garage, they had a garage in there that was blocked off. And obviously we don't have a car, but we could have turned it into like a gym, or, you know, if we wanted to put Fife's living quarters. I said living quarters.
That's cool.
If we wanted to put Fife's space down there for her to just get away from us when she's getting on our nerves. I mean, when we're getting on her nerves. She could go down there and hang out. But there were just a couple cons about it. I know there were some scuffs on the walls, some paint chips, yeah, some like dents and scratches on the furniture.
But everything that they said that they would like have completed before moving, so not a problem at all. Our biggest concern was actually just the fact that when you live in a house, you're a little bit more isolated from other people, and that wasn't ideal for us. Like, we wanted to build community here, and we wanted to make sure there's other eyeballs, you know, other people looking at our success.
Right, exactly. Because we are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Let's start giving each other help and getting each other's backs. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get each other's backs. So those are all of the places that we looked at. So we want you all to tell us which place you think we chose.
What place do you think we chose? We had the
Jefferson's,
Views from the Six, Dose, Little Charmer,
Art Van, and GDO Cribs.
Tell everybody, like this page and share it. Like this page and share it.